Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Welcome to all the guests. Breakfast today is sponsored by Shimon Lefkowitz in memory of his grandfather. Rabbi Isai, I have very good news. Yesterday, Reb Shimon Lefkowitz was sitting right over here in the hot seat, and after Shir, he came over to me and he said he wants to give $5,000 towards the Gemaras. In addition to him, there was the Halperts, the two Hasidim that was sitting, father and son. He came over to me and said he wants to give $3,600 towards the Gemaras. So together, that put us over the top. We have over 1,000 Gemaras now for Avodah Zarah Baruch Hashem for English. Volume 1. Over 1,000 Gemaras for Hebrew. And we want to go more. Since we got, and I'll tell you why. Avodah Zarah, I think, is the Masechta of MDY. That's the Masechta that we started in. Daf Chav Ches. That's the Masechta that I learned close to 30 times. Be'ezer Hashem, I'm going to get to 40. And it's a Geshmak Masechta, and we want to get people. It's one of our last opportunities before brachas to get people on board. It's one of those Masechtas. After, what are you going to tell somebody? Come join us in Mizvachim, Menachas. When we get there, we'll deal with it. But let's get them now for Avodah Zarah. Let's get them. We got an opportunity, and we got to get at least 1,500 people in English. No shayla. So if you want to be part of it, Yossi Klein did me a favor. I called him up. It was 12:30 here in Eretz Yisrael. I called him up. I said, do me a favor. Call up Art Scroll. Make a big fuss. And all the guys, like Lefkowitz and what was his name? Halpert, who donated, let them be able to put a dedication into the actual, not a sticker, because they were telling us you have to put a sticker. I said, no, I want to be part of the Art Scroll. I want it to be printed in Art Scroll. At the end, I have to say Shkoich to Art Scroll. They agreed to let us in. So I'm gonna Reb Gedalia and Ari, all the guys in Art Scroll. Be'ezer Hashem today. If somebody puts it in today, we'll do a little bit more of a push. Get it. Today's the last day to get your name in, like in the thing. Here, let me show you what it looks like so far. We have here. That's one page. Then you're gonna have the calendar in there. You're gonna have the rules and regulations of Daf Yomi, all the good tips. So I want to tell you something. Yesterday, one of the Halperts, Luzi Halpert, the son of the Chassid, was sitting right over there, and he told me that his friend Penny Klein from Jackson 21 sent him a message every day asking him to join Daf Yomi. Guess how many days in a row? 108 days in a row. Please join Daf Yomi. Please join Daf Yomi. Please join. 108 days in a row. And he has tremendous hakaras hatoiv to that friend who did that for him. Penny Klein. Yishkoich Penny. He got Luzi Halper to join. 108 days straight. Like Daf Yomi. Every day. I told him I have a similar story with Benny Rudnick. And at the end, it was worth it. You know what I'm saying? It was worth it. Yishkoyach Gadol. Attaches a picture of Abucha Achushev Moishi Rottenberg, who started listening to Yeshir from Masechtas Makis, Makis, on the phone, and still doesn't miss a day learning the Daf with you. Here is him making a seal of Masechtas Makis. In the center, you can see the Vision Rebbe Shlita of Bar Mitzva, who attended the big Simcha. You can also see my friend Rabbi Rottenberg, who says he was your classmate back in Skver Cheder in Borough Park. He's also part of your shir. May continue spreading. I remember that guy. He used to beat me up every day. I have no idea who he is. No clue. May continue spreading the Ziskite of Torah all over the world. Your Talmud from Meila Avrumi Levovitz from Borough Park. Dear Reb Eli, who saved my life. This was written in Hebrew. Thank you so much for the wonderful shir. Would be happy if there were a dedicated MDY app. We're working on it in Hebrew, of course. It's almost coming out. For the last year and a half, it's almost coming out. My children enjoy hearing the Erev of Tov Rabbi Isai from your student from Daf Beis in Sanhedrin. Now the question is, who did it better? You ready? You've never seen this before. Everybody, listen up, because you're going to want me to play it again.
Good morning, cows!
Nachamo?
Good morning, cows!
Watch the shit together on Zoom. Pre-share live on Malkin, sponsored by Arya Simon from Adar Global. Attendance is free, just RSVP. What else do we have? The MDY bot Raboisai. For me, it's a saver. If you have it, all you need to do is type in DAF in English, and it'll give you that day's daf. If you want any daf from the beginning of Shas, you type in Sanhedrin daf 13, and it'll give it to you in seconds. It just comes to your phone. Let's say you put in the word cows, maybe the video of the cows will come up. No? He's shaking his head no. Why not? You should do it. No, cows is one of the choshev things. Rabbi Isai, I announced here on Shevuos night that all the refreshments were donated by Mordechai Sapaznik, but I never had a chance to say it where it's recorded. So Yishkoach to Mordechai always thinks that he approached us. He gave $1,000 towards the refreshments on Shevuos. L'zech nishmas Reb David Teichman, Reb David Eliezer ben Reb Chaim Yosef, Zechron Levraka. The Masechta is sponsored by anonymous Hatzlacha, bruchnius, v'gashmius. Monthly sponsors ActualEyes in honor of David, Merkin of Eastern Union, and all the Silver Spring daffers. Eli Dyckman for the Refuah sheleimah of Teinok ben Rivka. Weekly sponsors anonymous in honor of Mark Ashkenazi. Anonymous in honor of Reb Eli, his family, the whole MDY staff, to continue to spread Torah Yishkoyach. Daily sponsor anonymous Refuah sheleimah for Esther Bas Freida, Yehoshua Ludmir, Stam, Moiridik. Yehoshua Ludmir, Yishkoyach. Stam, Stam. Anonymous in honor of the Vermont and Coughlin chevra. How did that say? Pronounce it? Coughlin. That makes sense. In honor of the Vermont and Coughlin chevra that learned the daf with Reb Eli from anonymous Yishkoyach. This is an anonymous day. We had anonymous Refuah sheleimah, anonymous in honor of Vermont, anonymous from Lakewood. Mazel tov to Nossi Goldman. There is only one anonymous from Lakewood. Mazel tov to Nossi Goldman upon his Bar Mitzva. May his parents see tremendous nachas. MDY Kids Monthly Innovations, Chus for official Chonan Akiva, Rivki and Mrs. Stefansky. Art of the month for Shilayma for Yehoshua Eitan ben Besheva Bracha, who's featured in the Gemara here. Check this out. One of our chaverim who is in the room donated $5,000 so that his name should appear here. Here we go. In the Refuah sheleimah, Yehoshua Eitan ben Besheva Bracha. Yishkoach to Mr. Anonymous who's sitting here in the room. Did I do them all? No.
Ari's son got engaged.
Oh, that's right. Ari, Mazel tov, Mazel tov. What's her name again? She's from Vermont and Coughlin.
Down the road, Donnie's neighbor.
No, but does the father do the daf?
Not yet.
Does the father do the daf?
He will be tomorrow.
How did you do shidduch if he doesn't do the daf, Ari? He will be doing it tomorrow. In honor of, so Mazel tov, Mazel tov. The whole oilam is invited to the l'chaim, which will take place tonight in the Beis Medrash. For Shevuos for rebellion, I'm kidding. I don't want to look at him, he's getting all nervous. For Shevuos for rebellion, the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so joy so many. In honor of Esther Klein and Mark Ashkenazi for all the work they do. Rabbi Isai, if you look at this daf, it has tremendous amount of words. One of the easiest dafim in Shas, really. Very, very simple. Just there's a lot of words, so we're going to have to go quickly. And unfortunately, we didn't get to where we wanted to get to, which was the Mishnah. So now we have to backtrack a little bit. The question was, how do we know that Shevuos Ha'edos is in Mamanis? And we had all these things, and we were holding by the last one. Reb Shimon says it's first it was a Memetzinu. We find by Pikadin that it's Mamanis, so it's also by Shevuos Ha'edos. Then he said, it's a Kavachomer. Then he said, it's a Gzeir Shava. The Mametzinu, we slugged up. We said it's not good. Why? Because how can you compare Shevuos Ha'edos to Pikadin? Shevuos Ha'edos is Mazid has to bring a carbon, Pikadin doesn't. And also, Shevuos Ha'edos, you could invoke a Shevuah for somebody else, not in Shevuos Pikadin. So they're not similar. So, Mechachu Allah b'Marava in Eretz Yisrael, they made fun of him. On this, or him, this idea. So trying to figure out what was so funny. 16 lines from the bottom. Now we're holding 13 lines from the bottom. This is what's funny. Michti Reb Shimon Gzeir Shava Gamir. Reb Shimon at the end of the day has Gzeir Shava of Techta. Lamale the Parich. So then when he said it's Kavachomer, or is Mematzinu Mali Pikadin Shekin Liasa by Mushba Kinishba Amezik Shogi. Say, oh, it's different. Pikadin and Edis are different. But if you have Gzeir Shava makes everything equal. So say in fact that Pikadin Mazid is like a shaygig. You have to bring a carbon for Pikadin when you do a b'mazid. Somebody can invoke a Shevuos by Pikadin also. I have Gzeir Shava. Says Gemara, my chucha. Dilma ki parach mekamei take him like Gzeir Shava. Why is that funny? He was trying to say that his kavchaymer, his memetzino by itself is not strong. Also the kamal like Gzeir Shava like parach. You're right. And once you have Gzeir Shava, you could learn Pikadin from Eidos and say that Pikadin is also when it's a Mazid. Pikadin, you can invoke a Shevuos. But that's not true. V'amalu Rava bar Eitai lirabanon. Mantana Shevuos Pikadin loy nitan zan likapara. Who's the man that says you don't say Mazid by a Pikadin? Reb Shimoni. But if Reb Shimon has Gzeir Shava, he should say that a Pikadin is Mazid. How come he says Pikadin? There's no Mazid by Pikadin. So you see that even with the Gzeir Shava, it doesn't help. Says Gemara, Dilma Mazid Shoygig Parach. Maybe Mazid will be like Shoygig. The Gamelam Meila. Sorry, the Mazid. There's no Mazid by Pikadin. Why? Because, like we had yesterday, if you remember, we can learn Pikadin from Meila, we can learn Pikadin from Eidos. When it comes to Shaygig, I'm going to learn from Meila. There is no Mazid by Meila. There's only Shaygig by Meila. So Pikadin, I'm going to learn from Meila. That's why it's different. You don't take the Gzeir Shava Techta and say you learn everything from Eidos. There's one thing I'm going to learn from Meila, which is Shaygig. Why? The Hanach Nefishin, like we said yesterday, there's more things on the right side, on the Meila side. So I'm going to learn from Meila when it comes to Shaygig because it's 6 versus 5. But the other halacha that you have to invoke a Shevuos, that when somebody invokes a Shevuos, it works. That only works by Eidos. It doesn't work by Pikadin. And therefore, why did they laugh at him? So the Gemara says, I'll tell you, the reason why they laughed. Once you learn Pikadin from Meila, so now, and then you have a Gzeir Shava that says that Eidos and Pikadin are the same. So let's learn. Then by Eidos, you should say there is no Mazid by Eidos. Why? Because by Pikadin I learned that there's no Mazid from Meila. So once I know by Pikadin there's no Mazid, there's only Shaygig, now I have this thing called Techta. I have this other Gzeir Shava that compares Eidos to Pikadin. And Pikadin, we said, already established, there is no Mazid. So there shouldn't be any Mazid by Eidos. Why don't I use that Gzeir Shava to say that there's no Mazid by Eidos? Once I establish the halacha by Pikadin, now I can take that halacha and move it over to Eidos. Ma Pikadin Shoygig in Mazid loy. Afeidos Shoygig in Mazid loy. I already learned that from Meila, and that's why they laughed at him. How come Reb Shimon holds that by Eidos Mazid is like Shaygig, that there is a Mazid? There shouldn't be a Mazid. Says the Gemara, no, don't worry about it. There's nothing to laugh at. There's a reason. The Torah puts Shevuos Eidos by Bitui, by Tumas Mikdash Kedoshim. The Bekulim Nemer Behem V'Nelam, V'Kanali Nemer Behem V'Nelam. All those psukim don't have the word V'Nelam. There's no Shaygig. It said everything has the concept of Shaygig, but there's no concept of Shaygig by Eidos. Why? The reason why Reb Shimon holds that there is a Mazid by Shevuos Eidos because the Torah doesn't put the word V'Nelam. So there's nothing to laugh at him. So at the end of the day, why did they laugh at him in Eretz Yisrael? We don't know. Now, we're going to start the super easy sugya. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Yonah Koren. From? Muncie. And you do the daf every day? Where are you in yeshiva? You're not in yeshiva? Yeah. Gewaldig. The two Bachrim that drowned yesterday, on Friday, and they came to the shir. He said he was in the water for 10 minutes, drowning for 10 minutes. And he doesn't know how to swim. when he said the story, then I chapped, like I was just reading it. He's like, that's it. He forgot to say vidui, but he's thinking, he says his life is over. And the other bacher knew how to swim. The other bacher came to save him, but he told the guy, he says, listen, you're not saving me. And the guy explained that he was thrashing around in the, what's the word?
Shredding.
No, he wasn't shredding. He was thrashing, he was punching, he's acting crazy, and he couldn't save him. So then the guy said, okay, go, I'm going to die here. And then this jet ski that didn't start up or whatever, all of a sudden it started up, and the bacher pushed it in, and they saved him. So anyways, he came to ask me, he got rishus from his reshiva in Chadera to put, oh, here it is. Wow, how do you do that? That is pretty cool.
He put jet ski in the book.
Wow. These two bachrim. So anyways, after Shir, they said they got rishus from the reshiva to put up a screen in their Beis Medrash, to, not in the Beis Medrash, in Night Seder. Whoever wants to watch a Shir in Night Seder, it's Rabbi Balak. He's a sofer here in the Merkaz. He does Sifri Stam. He does the Stam. He has a yeshiva in Chadera. He's an open-minded kind of guy. And he said, yeah, if you could get us a screen, we want to show it what it is. So anyway, that was that discussion. Maybe in your yeshiva also. What are you saying? Maybe. One day, huh?
Use my tablet.
The Reshiva lets, the tablet? Okay, give out. All right, Zok the Mishnah. Now, I have a couple of questions here. When it says Elokeinu anywhere, are you allowed to erase the last two letters of Elokeinu? Because it's nu. Nu means our Elokim. Is that part of the Shem Hashem? Are you allowed to erase it? Yes or no? When talking about erasing Shem Hashem, anybody want to take a jab at it? Yeah. You say you're allowed to. What do you say? You're allowed to. What do you say? I need somebody to say not. I mean, you know machlokes here.
I would think.
What do you say? It's machlokes. It is.
My gut
What do you
feeling
say?
would be no.
What do you say?
That's my gut
It's going to
feeling.
be without Elohim. No, it's going to be Elohim.
It's not part of it. Yeah, Elokai. Elokai. Elokai.
We would think not.
You would say not.
I would say not. Yeah.
Okay. So in fact, it's a machlokes in the Gemara. But here I have a question.
How do we pass it?
We passing that like you.
Okay.
As long as you're clear with that.
Yeah, as long you're mechaven to the halacha. Givaldik. You guys are a bunch of. You're not holding. You're not holding yet. I have a question here, but if you know the answer, you can't answer. Did you learn the daf yesterday? Okay, this is a very good question. Who wants to volunteer to answer the question? It has to do with shir shirim. Anybody?
What's the question?
I'm going to ask you. Okay, nobody answer. Just explain the first pasuk of shir shirim. Shir shirim asher l'sheleimah. How do you explain it?
A song that Shlomo Melech wrote, a poem that he wrote.
Okay,
And
givaldik.
that poem is going to explain all the secrets and about the connection with the
Okay.
Torah and Klal Yisrael.
Givaldik. Okay. Who else wants to add? Anybody? Everybody agrees to him? Don't worry, in the Hebrew shir, everybody made the same mistake as Reb Nachman. Anybody? It's a Pella play. Pella. We're going to learn today, and this is Pasha Pshat. Shir HaShirim Asher L'Sheleimah, the song of songs of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sheleimah does not mean Sheleimah Melech. It means HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The word Sheleimah is not Sheleimah Melech. Rebbeinu Shalaylam. It's a Kaddish Dika name.
One for one is okay.
It's a Pella. No. Listen. Who says? It's something called the Talmud. It's in the Talmud.
Who says that this Shlomo means a Baruch Hu?
In the Gemara. It's a whole Gemara about it. And like nobody even argues on it. It's like so pashut. The only thing is, the only argument is, in the entire Shir HaShir, when it's mentioned, there's one place that Sheleimah Melech means Sheleimah. And there's another mandama that says two places. But Shir HaShir Asher L'Sheleimah, no, I didn't either know. No, I'm asking, look, nobody here. So if he just came for that, Shir HaShir Asher L'Sheleimah doesn't mean Sheleimah Melech. Rebbeinu Shalaylam. Okay. Says the Mishnah, now we have to fly, okay? Mashbi'ani aleichem im lo tavoyu v'tiuduni she'omer ishploini litin li mosayim zuz v'li nosan. It happens to a lot of us. People promise money, yeah? I'm sure it happened to you, like, oh, when you get married, I'll give you a gift, whatever it is. I don't know what, I'll do this and this for you. And at the end, the guy doesn't come through. So I want you to testify that you heard him say that he was going to give you a gift. Now, he's not mechuyev to give you the gift. Al pi halacha, you can't really sue him. There might be a mishapara, it's not a nice thing, etc. But you can't sue him in Bezdin. So back to the halacha of Shevuos Eidos. Shevuos Eidos only applies to monetary obligations. This is not a monetary thing. Harei elu pturim. That's why this is not a Shevuos Eidos yipater. Shechayovim ela al tvias mammon kipikado, and only when there's a real mammon tvia. Mashbiani aleichem kishatedu li eidos shetavayu v'tiyudini. Now he says in the future, when I'm telling you right now that if tomorrow this and this happens and you see it, I want you to testify for me. That also doesn't work. Harei elu pturim. Why? Because he made them swear before they actually witnessed anything. First you have to witness something, then you make somebody swear. If somebody stood up in shul and he says, Mashbi'ani aleichem, look at me, I tell all you guys, all of you, I don't say all of you, Mashbi'ani aleichem, I'm making you swear for me that if anybody saw somebody do something to me. V'omar, Mashbi'ani aleichem shimatem yoidim li eidish tavoy v'tiyuduni, harei elu pturim. He wasn't direct. He didn't point anybody out or call anybody out. You have to point to somebody. You can't just be general. You, the shul, I'm telling the shul that they have to be made. It doesn't work like that. What?
At a wedding, Santa Kedushin appoints those two Adam.
Oh, so you can point those two to exclude everybody else. Yeah, okay. We have a video here, just at the end. It's hard, I didn't understand it yesterday, so I'm just explaining the ending. The ending is that the guy also has like something from a tish, like leftover, I think that's what it is. It's leftover food from a tish, here. What? It's louder? No, this is in English.
Haganif, thief, my money! I command that if anyone here on this train can testify, then come and testify that my money was stolen!
You need to use the language of you, or all of you. Saying generally if anyone just doesn't count. And by the way, they stole your tish leftovers as well.
Oi!
Looks like the segula worked!
Gewaltig!
Okay. You want to do a voiceover? Okay, we'll talk later. This Maisa you all know, but I have to say it. Sometimes there's a chiyuv for me to say Maisas. When I was in Los Angeles, in a restaurant, we walked out of the restaurant and my wife says, "Oh, I forgot my purse in the restaurant." So she goes back to the restaurant and she cannot find the purse. She can't find the purse. You ever heard this Maisa?
I never heard it.
You never heard it in English. You didn't hear it, so I'm going to say it for you. These guys for sure heard it 6 times. So we go back. She goes back in. She comes back. She says, "I can't find my purse." So I go in. I can't find the purse. So I go to the owner of the restaurant. I tell him, "Listen, we were here literally 2 minutes ago, and the purse is gone. Somebody in this restaurant has it." She starts giving me a hard time. No, this, that. I realized he doesn't really want to get his employees in trouble. Illegals. I don't know what. She says, "Look, you have video cameras everywhere. You can see who took it." It's not this, maybe that. He says, "Look, if you don't go back to the videotape, I'm going to make you bizyonis here. You better go back." He says, "Yeah." He didn't want to. So I got up on a chair. This is pre-Magachir days, okay? I got up on a chair and I said, "Rabbi Sai, listen up." So everybody looked. I said, "There's a thief in this room. One of the employees here is going around stealing stuff." So he says, "Stop. Okay, I'll go. Kids." He goes upstairs, comes back a minute later, says, oh yeah, I think I know what happened. And he says, "Okay, the woman that cleaned your table, she did something with the garbage and then she took the garbage out. So we're going to go to the garbage can." So he has one of his guys jump into the dumpster and starts rummaging through the garbage, takes every bag out. I can't find it. I said, no, keep on going. "Kids, sir." We find it. It was in a bag, in a small bag, within a bag in the garbage can. So we open it up, and my wife's money was gone. Everything was there, the license, everything, the money. So the guy says, okay, so he calls the lady. The guy that jumped into the garbage speaks to the woman, and they have a one-on-one meeting. He says, "Okay, listen, she claims she didn't steal it, but she doesn't want to be deported. She doesn't want to this. She doesn't want to get in trouble with the police. You tell her how much money was in there, and she'll do it, push it as rachmanis, as a favor to you. She'll give back the money. So I said, okay. So I knew I gave my wife like $100 that morning, and she spent $2-3, maybe $5. So about $95 in the purse. So I tell him there was $150 in there. So he talks to her, and he comes back. She says, the woman says, no, it was only 98. Maisa Shahaya. So I told my brother the story. The following week, my sister-in-law was in Los Angeles in one of these supermarkets where they take your stuff out to the car. They help you. She turns around, the purse is gone. So she's pretty sure it's the guy that took the purse helped her push the stuff to the car. So he goes to the owner, and the owner does the same thing. No, yes, this, protecting. I don't think so. Why do you think? Why are you accusing my... So everyone says, if you don't give it back, I'm going to get up here. I'm going to make you bizyonis. So the guy says, yeah. He starts screaming in the supermarket. Starts screaming. It's not a good idea. Just don't try it. So the guy says, stop. He goes to the back room, brings back the purse, and he says, okay, get out of here. That was the end of that. Okay. So says the Gemara, what? Emes Lamita. My brother used to be a Rebbe in Eula. He lived in Los Angeles. That's why I was in Los Angeles then. Says the Gemara.
Bizarreness works.
Bizarreness for yourself. This is a classic. If you know Eidus, I want you to say Eidus. That's great up until now. And they swear they don't know Eidus. But what's the backstory? The way they know the testimony is because they heard it from a friend, hearsay. That's nothing. We already said in the other Mishnah that a karv apostle is not part of Shevuos Eidus. Taisus actually asks, so then what's the big chiddush here? We already learned this in the Mishnah that a karv apostle is not part of Shevuos Eidus. So he says over here, there's a big chiddush that if he's one karv apostle who's part of a group of 3 that are kosher, he ruins it for everybody. Okay, that's the chiddush here. Harei elu pturim, they're potter. We had this, Rabbi Isai, so it's even chazar. It's easy and it's chazar. Shilach bi'ad avdoi. You sent your slave to go invoke a shvuah, get testimony out of somebody. This is when I said the story with Willie, that there's a difference between the teveya and the nitva, between the defendant and the plaintiff, the litigant. It has to be the litigant and the plaintiff who demand the shvuah, not the defendant. So, the defendant, he cannot invoke the shvuah. That's why the potter. It has to come from the litigant. And now what? Has to come from the plaintiff. Plaintiff. Whatever. There must be a better word, actually. Now the Gemara is going to go through everything in the Mishnah, repeat it 2-3 lines. That's why it's a long daf, and just give us a 1-line reason for everything. Somebody promised me money in the past. A promise is nothing. The reason is because it says, this is the techta we actually spoke about earlier. It says, it says by Pikadon Techta also, not only by Shevuos Eidus, just like by Shevuos Pikadon, it's talking about a monetary claim, and there's a real monetary claim there. We're talking about monetary claims, and you already owe him, not something that was promised to you. When you know Eidus, you should come in the future. Maybe you should take a bichayev. V'shama kol Allah v'hu eid oira yada. Misha kol made this l'shvua. First you see it, you witness it, then you come and you get a shvua, then somebody invokes a shvua. The less you come to shvua, not somebody anticipates that you're going to see testimony, and then you're going to, no, that doesn't work, but you come to shvua ladies. Omar Beis HaKnesses says, he stood up in shul, v'omar mashbiani aleichem. Omar Shmuel, afilu edav b'neim. Even, let's say, here's the case, a guy is standing up in shul, and you see the 2 guys with the funny glasses, those are the binoculars, they're the Eidim. So even if the Eidim are between them, garnished. Shito, standing right next to him, like over here. Now the same command Ludami. You're pointing basically at them. You're talking to them. Kamash Malan. Then no, you have to be more specific. You saw a bunch of people. You're on the train. So a lot of people standing, and the Edom are between them. He says the entire, how do you say karan? The whole car. No, but in English it's car, train car. I want you to testify for me. You think this should be chai. It has to be you point and you say directly, this guy. But maybe if he said, so here's a chiddush. If you say all of you, all, then it's different. It's all of you that are standing next to me. So in fact, if you really point, like in this picture, where he's pointing directly at these four guys, what is the you call, that would work. Because they're there, they're next to him, and he said all. But the Mishnah says they happen to be Eid Mepi, this hearsay, or they're Kroivim. This is just the Mishnah, that's why I'm going fast. Maybe you should take a bichai. They have to be people that are not related. Only in Shevuos we said, you can't be a woman, you can't be related, you can't be puzzle. Shilach biyadavdoi, Torah bonon. Shilach biyadavdoi. You sent your slave to get testimony. Or you sent the defendant. Or the defendant said, I want you to swear. I want you to say and testify. What do you see from this? My Talmud. What do you see from this pasuk? It's super interesting. I don't know if I paid attention to that before, but look at this word. There's a pasuk we spoke about a lot. Look how it's spelled. Lamed Vav and Lamed Aleph. Basically, it has two words in one. Loi, him, and no. Loi mit Vav, loi mit Aleph. It's both. So what does it mean? Im loi. Loi is referring to the teveya, the litigant. If he won't say, loi with the Aleph, not. We're talking about one specific person. Only the teveya could invoke a shvuah and not the nidba. Im loi, the teveya, lo yagid, won't say, but anybody else other than teveya, then you're potter. Says the Mishnah. Now we're just going into different language of a shvuah. Mashbi'ani aleichem, mitzavani aleichem, I command you, oiserchem ani. Oiserchem is not a lashon of iser, it means I tie you up. Harei elu chayavim. This is all language of a shvuah, which the Gemara is going to explain that there's Hashem here, and that's why it's a shvuah. But if a person says, B'shamayim v'aretz, I want you to swear in the name of the heaven, Harei elu p'turim, that's nothing. That's not a Kodesh Baruch Hu, that's the heaven. If he uses Ba'al of Dalid, he says Aleph Dalid Nun Yud, Adnus, the Shem Hashem of Adnus, Yud K, which means Vav K, the whole Yud K Vav K, B'Shakai, B'Tzvakois, B'Chanon, B'Rachum. Chanon means Hashem has Chanina. What does it mean? That he gives matas chinam. He gives us free gifts all day long. Rachum means that he has compassion, meaning that he cares about the smallest details. If you misplace something, you look for something, you have a little bit sour about anything, he cares. He cares about you in any type of way. Or you say, I'm making a shvuah b'rav chesed. All these lashonos work. Ubekol hakinuyim. Not just the main names of Hashem, but also the nicknames. How do you say kinuyim in English? Nicknames of Hashem. Harei elu chayavim. All these you're chayav. Hamikalel bekulan. If you use this name in a klala to Hashem, Yoisi, Yaki, Yoisi, Yaki, Yoisi is Yoisi. Yoisi is just, that's the way the Mishnah uses, instead of saying the Rebbeinu Shleilam, the Chas Shalom Hashem shall strike, I don't want to say the next word, but it's the same word. Yoisi, Yaki, Yoisi. So you're cursing Hashem, that's chayav. Even if you use the name Chanun and Rachum. Divrei Meir. The Chacham Paitrim, no, you need the main names of Hashem. Hamakalil Aviv v'Imoy, and if somebody curses his father or mother, Bikulan, with all these nicknames, Chayav, Divrei Meir. We had a a video back in the day. I don't know if you guys want to see it again. Should I remind you this real quick? Like we have plenty of time.
Get up already. Reb Eli starts the Zoom lesson in a few minutes.
Oh, now he's English.
May the gracious and merciful one keep you, but close to him, up there.
Huh?
According to Rabbanan, you are potter from stoning, but according to Refuah, you should be stoned.
I see that one curse is not enough. So I bless you. May your keeper fly off when you're running for the bus. May you step on a Lego while you're barefoot in the middle of the night. May you sneeze while eating couscous. That you'll never find the beginning of scotch tape. That your pants will fall down in the middle of Hagbah. I think that's enough. I see
that doesn't work well in the English accent. The guy fell down so many times. Okay. So Zog the Gemara. Oh. If you curse your father or mother with any of these names, person curses himself, it's also Issa Deraisa, Bekulon, Oiver Beloisasa. Now you're Oiver Beloisasa. Yakha Hashem Elikim, the end of the pasuk is Ba Shachefes Ubakadachas. It's the clause in so if you use one of the clauses in the Torah, this is a curse in the Torah. What if you do al yakcha? So mitoich lav, mechlal lav et hashemein, says Rashi, there's a klal in the Torah, mechlal lav et hashemein. So if you say, Hashem should not curse you if you testify for me, meaning that He will curse you if you don't. V'yivarechacha, this is mamish in Parashat Shevuos, yivarech Hashem yishmerecha. V'yitilcha. Hashem should do good for you if you do good to me and you testify. Remeir mechayev, because mechlal lav et hashemein. From a negative, I see a positive. Chacham could hold, we don't see that, or you have to be more direct. Mashbiani aleichem, Maika Amar. What kind of shvu is Mashbiani aleichem if you didn't say Hashem's name? Amar Rav Yehuda, Hachika Amar. Mashbiani aleichem, b'shvu amur b'Torah. I want to invoke the shvu in the Torah, that's the shvu. Or, Mitzavani aleichem b'tzava amur b'Torah, the command in the Torah. Oiserchem ani b'Yisrael amur b'Torah. I want to bind you and tie you up with the Isra in the Torah. I chain you, like something like this. I chain you to the whatever, to the Shevuos. You're chayav. The question is, where does it say anywhere the word kovel in the Torah? You're saying it's based on the Isra, the Isra of the Torah, the tzava in the Torah, but the word kovel doesn't appear in the Torah. So Rashi says the word Shevuah over here means the name of Hashem. Mitzavani aleichem b'Shvuah, I'm command you with the Shem Hashem. Or Yisrael b'Shvuah with the Shem Hashem. Koivelchem ani b'Shvuah with the Shem Hashem. So therefore, Koivelchem, you're right, it's not in the Torah, but I'm using the name of Hashem in the Shevuah. That's why it works. Balav Daled B'Yudkei. B'Shaka B'Tzvakois b'Chanun b'Rachum b'Erech Apayim b'Rav Chesed. As the Gemara, Lemeimro, the Chanun b'Rachum Shemis Ninu. If you could use Chanun b'Rachum in a Shevuah, that means it's Hashem's name. Now, I'm going to give you a list of all the names of Hashem that you're not allowed to erase. If Chanun b'Rachum don't appear in there, they appear in the list that you're allowed to erase, that means it's not Hashem's name. So how could it be part of the Shevuah? Says the Gemara, their names that you're allowed to erase. These are names you can't erase. Keep going. Kel, Elikecha, Elikim, Elikechem, Eke Asher Eke, Aleph Dalid, Nun Yud, Yud Ke Vav Ke, Shaka, Tzvakos. Harei Einim Chakim. You're not allowed to erase any of these names. Aval, but what's the list that you're allowed to erase? And here, Chanun b'Rachum appear here. Hagadol, Hagibor, Hanoira, Ha'adir, Ve'chazok, Va'amitz, Ha'izuz. Chanun b'Rachum, you're allowed to erase it. So you see, it's not Hashem Hashem. So how could you put it? How can you make a shvuah with it? Huh?
It's still a shame.
Okay, but it's not strong enough to make a shvuah. You need something serious. Real quickly, I'll tell you this Mazel, because it's very chapayim. It's a terrible story. I don't even know why I'm saying it. It's a depressing story. But maybe... No, I gotta say it. Because it's gonna ring a bell with some of you, and then we could get it out. We could move on in life. The famous story, it's not even a chiddush, but maybe the one or two people. A Rebbe came late to class, and a kid walks over to him and says, So the Rebbe looks at him and says, I'm a chutzah. If he tells me I come late to class, smacked him right in the face. Give him a smack, put him in his place. So the mother calls up the Rebbe and says, why do you smack my kid? He says, why did I smack your kid? Your kid is I'm a chutzah. What kind of kid tells the Rebbe he comes late? She says, no, we just got him this watch. And he said, the first person he wants to show this his brand new watch is to the Rebbe. And he pointed to the Rebbe. So you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. And it's a terrible story. But Mitzacheni, I'm going to do tshuva. I'm going to say Murray the Gemaisa. It's also a very famous story. It's actually a song. Everybody knows this. I think Brzezinski, whatever. Where I'm going to say quick. A kid stole another kid's watch. A kid came to class with his brand new watch. It was stolen. So the Rebbe lined everybody up. We got to go both ways. We all.
Don't finish the story.
The first story was that the Rebbe didn't hit him and he held back.
No, that's what it should be.
No, he didn't. That's the story. Fender said over the story.
That's a good way to say it. I like my version better. Okay, I hear. Okay, fine. We'll redo it. Anyway, so this story. The boy steals one of those new Casio watches with the 45 things, and he lined everybody up in class, and he said, everybody close your eyes, empty out your pockets, and put it in my hand. And he went, and he found the watch, and he gave it back to the kid. Many years later, the kid that stole the watch found his Rebbe in the street. He says, Rebbe, I want to tell you, you saved my life. Why? Because you could have told the whole class who did it, and I would have been a nothing. Because you didn't say anything, I was able to grow and steig and become a good kid, and you mamish saved my life. So the Rebbe said, I want to tell you that up until this point, I never knew who the kid was. I also closed my eyes. Good Rebbe and a bad Rebbe. Shilayma, where are we? Oh, so we're on the bottom. No, the pshat is not Chanan Racham. B'mishu Chanon. I'm invoking. This is the Rebbe. This is just like Hashem. This is like Adnos, because I just added the word me. B'mi. The one who is Chanon. B'mishu Racham. The one who is compassion. Daf Lamed Hey. Amud Beis. Turning into the Daf, sponsored by Innovations in honor of our sons, Kalman and Yisrael, for learning Sanhedrin, Makis, and Shevuos with Reb Eli. We take it for granted, but a 9-year-old to learn 3 Masechtas like that. Dark Global, going global to be Mechazik MDY chevra on the East Coast. See you there. Ayin in the poster that he's there somewhere. Anonymous in honor of Mark Ashkenazi. Nuff said. So we have 8 minutes to do this giant daf. It's not a problem. Super easy, bemis. Did I lie to you? I said it's easy. It's not a gadata, but now we're going to have like stories and stuff. So use the same thing. How come when you use the word Shemayim V'aretz in a Shevuah it doesn't work? It means to the one who created the heaven and earth. If a person says the word Rachum or Chanon, there's nobody else. It doesn't exist. So he meant the one who's a Rachum, the one who's a Chanon. Right now there's earth. Right now it's here. I'm looking at the earth. So I say, I make you swear in the earth. Does that mean Hashem? No, it can mean the earth, the real estate. I don't know what. When you say Rachum, when you say Chanon, it's automatic. It means HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Torah Rabbanon, Kos of Aleph Lamed Melukim, Yud Kei Me'Hashem. If you start writing Elohim, you just started and you got to Aleph and Lamed, or you started writing Hashem's name Yud Kei Vav Kei, you did the Yud and the Hey. Harei Zeh Eini Nimchak, you cannot erase it. Shin Daled Mishakai, Aleph Daled Ma'Hashem, Tzadik Beis Mitzvakos, Harei Zeh Nimchak. Those are the ones you could erase if you didn't finish the whole Shem Hashem. And the main Shem Hashem is Yud Kei Vav Kei and Adnos, or Aleph Lamed, I should say, Elohim, that you can. Rabbi Yossi Omer Tzvakos Kuli Nimchak. Rabbi Yossi argues and says the whole word Tzvakos is not Hashem Hashem. Shlei Nikr Tzvakos El Hashem Yisrael Shenemar. This is actually referring to Klal Yisrael, not to the Rebbeinu Shalom. It says it's Tzivos Tzivoisai Esami Ben Yisrael Meretz Mitzrayim. Or Shmuel Ein Halach Rabbi Yossi. You cannot erase Tzvakos. The halach is not like Rabbi Yossi. Torah Baron Kol HaTov Hashem. So this is the question I asked you before. What if you want to erase the Nun Vav at the end of Elikeinu? Anything that's added to the name. Whether it's letters before or after, you're allowed to erase it. So what's a good example? Lashem, Lamed Nimchak. The Lamed of Lashem, it's Hashem. You want to do Lashem. Bashem, the word Bashem, Beis Nimchak. I could erase the Beis. Vashem, Vav Nimchak. Me'Hashem, Mem Nimchak. Shashem, Shin Nimchak. There's only one place in the whole Tanakh that says Shashem, and it's in this pasuk, Hashem Shekach Eloi. Ashrei Yom Shashem Eloikov. Oh. Real Litvak. Yeah. Somebody said, I heard yesterday, somebody said that Iyar is a tremendous month. It has Yom Tovim for all of Klal Yisrael. The Hasidim, they have Lag Baimer. The Mizrachniks, they have Yom Ha'atzmaut. And the Litvaks, they have Bahab. Ay, oh, slowly, not. Then I heard this. The guy is that's Kishma. What happens there at night? We have this guy. He's on the ball.
Gani had a great simon for today's daf. Lamed Hayes, La Hashem.
During the share, he wrote it? Dani, he's paying attention. I thought you were doing Shai Mikra over there. Wow, Givaldik. Okay. Shem, Lamed Nimchak. Bashem, Beis Nimchak. We said, no, Shinya. Hashem, Hey Nimchak. Kashem, Kov Nimchak. What's the case that you're allowed to erase letters afterwards? Elikei nu nimchak. Elikei hem nimchak. Elikei chem nimchak. Acherim oimrim. Who's acherim? Reb Nachman? Reb Meir? La'achro ve'in nimchak. Shvar kiddush Hashem. Once you have kedusha in the thing, you don't erase the letters. Omer Avuna. Halacha acherim. That's the halacha. I don't know. I'm just throwing it in as top of my head, that if there's Kedusha in the beginning, then even the other stuff not. So, L'mashal, the Vilna Gaon says that if you want to think about, like, let's say you have a dilemma in life. You have a dilemma, should I buy this, should I this, should I move, I don't know what. People have dilemmas in life. So you learn Torah, you learn, and then you stop and you think about your dilemma. It has a much bigger effect than stop thinking. So it's possible that it has this, it's a siman. La'achrov. When you say like Hashem's name and then you put on the nun vav, there's kedusha to that. It continues into it, and that's the halacha, huh?
You learn the daf in the morning.
When you learn the daf in the morning, no, but I don't want to put the guys down. The guys that do it at 1 o'clock in the morning and before they go to sleep. But if you do the daf in the morning, there's a hemshach of kedusha for the rest of the day. Avram, the lati lenova is begivas binyamin. Shlomo Daniel. These are simanim. And here we go to some stories. Kol shemus hamurim b'Torah ba'Avram kodesh. So now we're going to go and talk about the different stories in the Torah that have Hashem's name. By Avram Avinu, all Hashem's names in the stories over there are all Kadosh. Chutz mizeh, shuchol, besides this particular one, shenemar, vayoymar adonai imno matzosichem beinecha. Rashi says he's referring, Avram Avinu was talking to his master, meaning to the Malach Michal. He had the 3 Malachim there. He's talking to the middle one, Michal. If you find favor in my eyes. Chanina ben Achi Rebbe Yehoshua, Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah, Rebbe Elazar MDY Amru, Avzeh Kodesh. That what? What happened? So you read it like this. You say, are we going to say it before? Yeah, no. That he's referring to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That what? He tells HaKadosh Baruch Hu, wait. It's super interesting. We all know. Hashem came to visit him. He says, please don't leave. I want to be Mekayim Mrs. Achnas Sarchim, and please don't leave. So he's referring to Hashem, not to Michal. Who's the one that holds that it's greater to do Achnas Sarchim more than to talk to the Rebbeinu Shilayma? It's these two that said that Hashem, Adnos, over here is referring to Rebbeinu Shilayma. He asked Hashem, please wait, I need to attend to my Achnas Sarchim. I threw out yesterday that for some reason, I said don't pass on this, that Achnas Zarchim, it's going to shock a lot of people maybe, it's going to hurt some people. Achnas Zarchim is when you have a guest that comes from out of town, doesn't have where to stay, Achnas Zarchim. Maybe even seminary girls, yeshiva bachrim from Yerushalayim. But when you have your friend over, when Avi Kamiansky eats in my house, I'm not Mekayim Achnas Zarchim. He has his own house, he could go to his house and eat food over there. I might be Mekayim Chesed. So Menachem Ateh didn't like it so much, but by the end of Shir is unbelievable. He found in Shin Lamed Gimel that the Shulchan Aruch says mamish those words. When he talks about in Shabbos and this and that, so he says, Lav Mikri Arachim. That's not considered Arachim. Your friend that comes to your house is not Arachim.
Why can't the yeshiva boards eat in yeshiva?
No, but they want to go be in another city. They want to travel. Why did the Malachim want to travel in the thing? Let them stay home. They were traveling in the Midbar.
I want to eat on the other side of the Ramah.
Then maybe, yeah. Yeah, each one. But I'm just saying, it's not a chazarchim. When you come down 2 flights and you sit in my house. That's a little bit of, it's chesed, not a chnosis archim. It's not a ref that needs it. Okay, fine. I'm not pasking. Again, I'm just throwing it out. But so here's the flip side.
That's a different question.
All the names of Hashem that are said by Loit are not kadosh. So l'mashal, look at this. Here, Vayoyim Loit Aleim Al No Hashem. Is this chol? Is this kodesh? So it says over here, it's chol. Chutz mizeh shu kodesh. Besides the one that it's kodesh, shenemar Vayoyim Loit Aleim Al No. So the way you read it, Rashi says, you have to make a pause. If you look at the trup also, under the na, on top, on the left, all the way top, there's a tipcha that goes the other way. It's a stop. It's al na. Hashem is by itself. Al na. Hashem. And what does it say? Look all the way to the bottom. Nafshi. Who gives him life? Hashem gives him life. So obviously, Hashem, at the end of Pasuk Yud Ches, is referring to the Lahachis Nafshi in Pasuk Yud Tes. The famous story with Achav, we discussed it just recently in Sanhedrin, where Achav, here, this story, I'll remind you real quickly. He looked out of his palace and he sees the vineyard of Navos, and he wanted it, and Navos didn't want to give it to him, so he Zevel, Achav's wife, Mershas, made up a story that Navos rebelled, and they took it from him, they killed him. So it says it says Hashem's name a few times over there. So all those names are Hashem. But Micha, who did Avodah Zarah, the Shem of Hashem, when he refers to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, here, this one. This is Navos. This is Kaddish. But look at this one. It's Hashem Hashem. No, it's talking about Peselu Maseicha. It's talking about Avodah Zarah. Tremendous chidushim here.
Why not have Elot?
Oh, because of what's coming up here. B'micha is chol. Reb Eliezer Omer. B'nov is kodesh. B'micha yesh mem chol. Yesh mem kodesh. Some are kodesh. Why? Aleph lamed chol. If it's Elokim, it's chol. Yud Kei, which is this right over here, kodesh. Chutz mizeh, Aleph lamed v'u kodesh. But one reference over there, Kol Yemei Hayois Beis Elokim B'Shiloi, is talking about the Mishkan Shiloi. So that is kodesh. The famous story of Pilegesh Begiva. What happened? A person brought his concubine, his Pilegesh, and she stayed over in somebody's house, and they did terrible things to her the whole night, a bunch of people, and they killed her. She ended up dying, all from that Maisa. So he was furious, and he cut up her body and sent it out to all of the Shvatim, 12 pieces. He says, look what they did to my Pilegesh. So they said, we want the people that were over. And Binyamin protected them. Binyamin said, no. So they went to a war. The first 2 times they went to war, Klal Yisrael lost. The third time, they almost completely decimated them. Almost hardly anybody was left. Only a few hundred were left. How much? 600? What was how much? 600. It's a little bit more. No, 650, whatever. Okay. I don't remember exactly, but okay, if you say so. Reb Eliezer oy mechoil. Kol shoyim amurim begivas biyamin. Reb Eliezer oy mechol. All the names over there are mundane. It's exactly 600? Wow. But wait a minute, how could it be Shem Hashem? They asked the Rebbeinu Shalom if they should go to war, and he said yes. If it's the Rebbeinu Shalom, what Hashem lied? Hashem said go to war and they all died? He never said that you're going to win. He said go to war. When they asked him, are we going to win? Look what happens. When they asked what? They asked the word Matum. How does the word Matum work? There's a piece of parchment that goes into the Choshen with Shem Hashem, and then it lights up, and it tells you, you follow how it lights up, and Shalom Yisrael. You listen to it. So, when they asked, the Ur V'tumim, Miskim Al Yodam, said, yes, you're going to win. Should we go again? And it says, what does it say? Says the Gemara, Kol Shleimah Amur Mishar Shirim Kodesh. All the names Shleimah are Kodesh, is the name of Hashem. Shir Lemi Shashalom Shaloi, to the pieces on him. Chutz Mizeh, only one in the entire Shir Shirim. Karmi Shali Lefonoi. My vineyard, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is mine. Ha'elef Lecha Shleimah. But the 1,000 are to you, meaning, so says Rashi, Shleimah Ledidei. The 1,000 go to Shleimah, Umasayim Lenoidrim is Perioi, and the 200 go to the Rabbanan Shleilam. Those are the Rabbanan. So says Rashi that 1/6 goes to war. You take from all of Klal Yisrael 1/6. The Rabbanan, you ask about Torah, let them all learn Torah. Echad Meshisha Shebahem. Masayim Lenoidrim Perioi, the Rabbanan, you ask about Torah, Echad Meshisha Shebahem. Oh. So keep the Chachamim how much? Only 1/6 stay over. A 1/6 remain to learn Torah. This is the Rabbanan. Another, so we have to remember this. Avzechol, I have one more pasuk that's also mundane. He named Mitazah Shel Shleimah Shishim. Shleimah Melech was scared of Ashmedai, so he surrounded his bed with 60. But that's Shleimah over here is referring to him himself. So the Gemara says, so the first one, Karmi Shali, Ha'elev L'cha Shleimah, is also mundane. Not only this one, both of them are mundane. So we have two psukim that are mundane, either one or two. Elahad Amar Shmuel. Shmuel says the opposite of Tanakama. Now what? Malchusa the katlo chad meshito ba'alma loy mi'ansha. The first Madama says 5/6 go to war, 1/6 stays and learns Torah. This is basically the machlekes between the Charedim and the Chilonim. It's machlekes Rabbanan and Shmuel. Rabbanan say 5/6 go to war, 1/6 stays in Kailo, and Shmuel says no. Chad meshito ba'alma loy mi'ansha. Shenemar karmi sheli lefonai. Same one every day, no? Oh, so Sheleimah over here is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, says Shmuel. Sheleimah goes to Hashem. Says Fakert. The 200, the 1/6 goes to the king here. According to everybody, Sheleimah is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And now he's saying Sheleimah over here is not. Says Gemara Halachic Omar, V'yesh Oimrim ze Kodesh. He's not Goyres Avze, even this one is Chol. No, Yesh Oimrim ze Kodesh. This one is Kodesh. V'zehu Chol Dimitasoi. Ushmuel Domek Yesh Oimrim. Shmuel, the Aleph, that one, he holds like the Yesh Oimrim that it's Kodesh. It's not mundane. Not everybody holds it's mundane. There's a Yesh Oimrim that says it's Kodesh. Let's just do until Kol Kinuim. One more piece. Yeah. Anytime it says the word melech in Daniel, it's mundane. One is not. Ant malko melech machai di Allah shmayo machuso chisno uskafa bikar. You have a song for this. Even the word melech over here is kodesh shenema mori Hashem chelma l'sanach. Daniel will try to explain the Nebuchadnezzar's dream. He says, Hashem, chelma l'sanach, give this dream to your enemies. Ufishrei la'arach, and it's, how do you say, pesher, the explanation of the dream to your enemies. Leman de Ko'amar, who is he talking to? Interpretation, thank you, that's the word. Leman Ko'amar, if Daniel is talking to Nebuchadnezzar, to your enemies, who's Nebuchadnezzar's enemies? L'chayra, sarvasim maninu, Yisrael, Klal Yisrael. What? Be'ela kolayit Yisrael. Daniel is telling him, he's telling Hashem, take your bad dream and give it to Klal Yisrael. What? Nebuchadnezzar was good with the whole world. He had enemies all over the world. That's what he meant. Take that dream and give it to the non-Jewish enemies. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDAF.com.